I would have gone like what I would have hit live earlier, but I was like, I should probably fix some of my stream stuff. But like, I couldn't figure it out for about an hour. That and I was making a makeshift breakfast. I shouldn't be streaming, but I am. Here I am. Hello, internet, and welcome to the Dragon's Cabin. I am Wicked Terrain, Ice Dragon, VTuber, Dungeon Master, and Variety Gamer, and today I'm just gonna be watching binging with Babbage videos and reacting because there's a lot here that I wanted to watch, and I figured a lot of things I didn't wanna. I was gonna play Dave the Diver, but it's like I'm only gonna stream for a little bit, and then I'm probably gonna go to sleep. Take a nice little nap. Hey Mia, how you doing? Good morning to you. All right, so I think I gotta set this up real quick. There we go. I wonder though, it's better if I move it over here. Yeah, because actually I don't know. I guess we'll figure it out. Let's see, browser audio turn on. Properties. Okay, that should be it. Yeah, daylight savings is always a pain for us North Americans. I don't know where else in the world they have daylight saving times because I know not everyone gets it. What was I doing? Right. Start off with this one. Looks like, oh god, this is an hour. Okay, I guess we're doing this. It is 1 hour. Theater mode? I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to do this. Okay, I guess I could go full screen, and then maybe I'll just like shrink myself down a little bit. Yeah, that's probably good. Maybe like, yeah, I think that's good. I think that's fine. All right, let's get started. The good morning burger. How topical. 18 ounces of beef. Hold on, how much is an ounce? How much is an ounce? Hold up. Hold up. How much is an ounce? Oh, right. Not how much is an ounce, but rather how big are normal burgers? Burger patty size. Yeah, 4 to 6 ounces. Okay. And this is 18? That's like 3 times the amount of normal beef. Oh, nice. Nice job, Babish. Yeah, that's a fat burger. Jeez, look at that patty. That's huge. I should probably turn down the volume a little bit, huh? There we go. Good enough. I basically want to be louder than the video. That's a lot of butter on an already cooked pat. Jeez, what the hell? That's already too much, man. Mmm. Those are thick looking bacon slices. No cheese, actually, yeah, it's crazy. The hazards of the workplace. Oh, look how juicy that is. Right, I kind of okay. So I'm gonna pause it real quick. This is kind of what I miss about the binging Bad Bitch videos, because like, not only does he recreate stuff from shows as best to his ability, but he'll make a version that's a little more structured, a little quote unquote better in his opinion. So while I already like the fact that yeah, it's a burger soaked in an ungodly amount of butter, I'm very curious of what he's gonna do with this version. Hey Flame, if you haven't had breakfast, I recommend it. I was always curious as to like, I was always curious about making my own butter like this. But of course, you might need the proper ingredients, and I might screw it up. You really might as well just buy a stick of butter at your local grocer. However, like if you had a way to, no, hey Toma. All right, well I happen to have Crusaderade, a flavor of gamer subs that you can get from uh, gamersubs.gg and save 10% off your entire purchase using code HOLO. Also, did you guys hear that, Toma? Did you hear the redeem sound? It was supposed to be a Minecraft sipping noise. Did you hear that? I hope you did, because I was trying to fix that redeem, but I don't know if it works or not. You heard the redeem sound, Mia? Thank you. Really appreciate that. Just needed some feedback there. How you doing, Toma? Good morning to you. By the way, breakfast for me that I'm literally eating right now. I got 2 slices of bread with cream cheese and garlic on it. And at the center, raisin cinnamon bread with butter on both sides. And in between all the 3 layers of bread, I got a slice of bacon. Yeah, process that in your head for a second. Yeah. Oh, it's 9 a.m. for you? Is it 9 a.m. or 9:39? 9:40. You might be in the same time zone I am. But yeah, I recommend breakfast. It's very good. It's very good for you. Go eat. If anything, Toma, if anything, all of us should just eat breakfast right now while we're watching this video. Because this video is about an hour and a half, and because I'm pausing to comment so that I'm actually adding to the video and not just doing a fucking watch along, which I think you're not allowed to. Because in this way, I'm actually adding content to it. We should all just have breakfast together. Just, you know, sit, chill, eat, eat, laugh, love. Or how Matara Khan from Vishojo says, live, love, lactate. Except I might have a problem with that last one. Hold out to midday. Oh, you too, huh? Like, normally I don't even eat breakfast, but I don't start eating breakfast till like 10:30, 11 o'clock. But it's like, man, I woke up so early. I've only slept for about 4 hours because of daylight savings time. I'm awake enough to want to eat food. This is definitely food tech. Oh, look how much butter. Holy shit. That's like 5% butter. That entire burger is just 5% butter. Yeah, butter burgers is right. Holy moly. God damn. I don't watch The Simpsons, but that was wild. Wait, it doesn't contain ribs? I guess it's like formed beef, huh? The rib witch just basically reminds me of the McRib from McDonald's. I don't think they have it right now, and I'm not sure if it's American or like I don't know if it's Canadian or North American. Just judging by what it is, I'm assuming that it's a North American thing in general. Morning, T. I'm doing well, thank you. I am very tired, and I don't know how long I'll go, but I'm here. Good morning to you. I hope you're doing well. What? Did did I hear that right? If your dry rub doesn't taste good, you won't taste good. Words to live by. I'm not a big fan of yellow mustard. Honestly, yeah, like putting actual ribs in a sandwich is such a pain in the ass because the whole allure to ribs, besides the obvious barbecuing, is the fact that you're eating it off the bone. So to put that in a sandwich, well, that just seems counterintuitive. So the McRib, the rib sandwich at McDonald's that is not here. I think it's like a seasonal thing. Even not even seasonal. It's just like just they bring it out whenever the hell they want to. It's it's a formed patty with processed meat. It just looks like ribs because they formed it that way. It's I wouldn't say it's an elaborate lie, but it's a lie nonetheless. Dijon Dijon mustard is peak. That is definitely good stuff. I love me some Dijon mustard, especially if it's the stone ground one, so it still's got some texture to it, and it's not just like a homogeneous paste. That's just my opinion, though. However, I have a sweet tooth, so I'm a sucker for honey Dijon. Yeah, hot pretzel. Oh god, yeah. Stone ground honey Dijon mustard on a hot pretzel, lightly salted, of course. Oh, oh, I'd love ribs for lunch or something. Maybe I can grab ribs tonight for lunch. Maybe I can dash that. I'm going to be right back, make breakfast and some bacon. Yeah, hey, like I said, Mia, right now it's daylight savings time. Probably everyone in our time zone's lost an hour of sleep. And I just ate breakfast, and we're watching this video that's over an hour long. Go get some breakfast, come back, watch with me, eat with me, and let's chill. this is interesting. This is some food tech. Holy moly. I was wondering why I was so sleepy when the cats came to wake me. Yeah. Yeah, the time changed. North America lost an hour. So at 2 a.m., at 2 a.m. today, it was actually 3 a.m. So rather than being 8:47 a.m. right now, it is now 9:47 right now. So that's great. How are the cats, by the way? How they doing? Jeez. That's the thing with meat, huh? You can't really skimp out on the treatment of meat because when you go really fast, it gets really tough and it's just not pleasant to eat. But when you cook that baby low and slow, you're gonna get some tender, moist meat. And of course, it depends on which meat you're dealing with, right? Some meats have different procedures on how to treat them. Chicken is one of them, right? You don't want to like chicken. It cooks faster, but like all the rest of meat, at least in my opinion, the faster you cook something at higher temperatures, you're gonna get a lot of different results. You're gonna get like really tough meat. Chicken's gonna be rubbery. But the thing is, you want to have really high heat over a short period of time, just so you can have a nice golden outside. And by golden, I mean like a nice crust, like a steak. You want to have a crispy outside, juicy inside. Or if it's chicken, if you want to fry that, you want to make sure that the outside's very hard, crispy, and delectable. So when you crunch through that, you're going to get the nice cooked meat inside. However, the difference being chicken, you want the full way through so you don't get salmonella, whereas every other meat seems to be fine to eat some level of raw, right? When's your lap right now? Aw, that's great. Which one is that? Mostly they are causing trouble napping and eating too fast. No cats. Cassiopeia. Aw, that's sweet. Interesting. Molasses. That's an ingredient. Molasses is an ingredient that I haven't been using much. In fact, when I'm cooking, the last few days, I've been trying to cook with some creativity and like not a recipe or anything. I'm just like, what can I do with the things that I have on hand, right? And because I started using beef broth, but the the light beef broth with less sodium, and it's like the thing is when you taste it, it tastes like it's kind of like water. It's very tasteless. But what I started to do is I realized, wait a second. What if I finally ground some dried shiitake mushroom that I have on hand, which was usually used for things like sukiyaki that I make at home. If you crush that to like a dust and you put it in, well, I put it in my what do you call it? My light beef broth. It added some flavor to that without becoming like actual thick ass mushrooms. And I added I think it's because I added these Vietnamese meatballs as well as a dash of this rice vinegar seasonings. It's the seasoning that you use for rice to make it sushi rice. Adds a bit of more flavor there and a slight bit of acidity. And then I had like at least this only really worked for whatever the fuck this dish I made. So I added like the meatballs, I added some udon noodles, I added a bit of bacon to add some fat to that. And then because some of the ingredients that I had in there was seasoned with that sushi rice seasoning, it actually came out really good. And I love the fact that I didn't have to add any salt to that whatsoever. I'm I'm really appreciating being able to cook without added salt, because like you don't really need salt. Salt makes things good, yes, but like if I can help it, I'll always choose the healthier side. I'm not eating super healthy, but the fact that I can cut those things out, I'm happy I'm able to do something like that. Anyway, enough about my weird broth. Tiny. Because of this guy, I want to get a tiny whisk for myself, just for making those little concoctions. Ooh, look at that. Yeah. Yeah, look at that. Classic barbecue tech. Slather that meat midway of cooking. Mm. Yeah, ribs you gotta have pickles and onions. It pickles and onions gonna really add that extra texture that isn't meat, and pickles really give that pop of flavor every second bite or so. Well, not every second bite, but rather every bite has a small bit of pop that's an inconsistent texture to everything. Because like the worst foods that I can think of are foods that are essentially high processed paste. If the texture is completely uniform and the taste is completely uniform, that's not good. At least in most dishes. I'm sure there's some dishes out there that that's the way to go, like porridge. Like, bowl of porridge is good, but even then, I like drizzling my porridge with, depending on what the porridge is, different toppings or something. I guess that's weird coming from me because like porridge is a bad example. I'm personally thinking of champorado, which is a chocolate porridge in the Philippines. It's a rice porridge with chocolate drizzled with condensed milk. It sounds gross on paper because when I say chocolate rice, that sounds disgusting. However, when you look at champorado, it is an infused rice with chocolate. So really, it's a uniform texture of soft rice with the sweetness of chocolate. It actually looks and tastes great. Had it when I was growing up. Um, but yeah, you splash like a little bit of condensed milk. That means every bite is sweet, chocolatey. It's got that texture of rice, but it's got little bits and pops of the condensed milk. Man, it is so bad for you. I would say that a lot of Filipino cuisine is just bad for you because it's just sugar and carbs. That's all that shit is. What was I saying? But right, yeah, having onions and ribs and onions, they just go well together, man. Or rather, barbecue and onions would just go well together. And with the pickles, yeah, that's a good additive. I hate what he just said because of how called out I feel. For those who, what did he say? It's for those who gave up mowing their lawn in favor of living in an apartment. Yeah. Your Filipino friends once made this fruit cake with mangoes and condensed milk and whipped cream. Yeah, when it comes to Filipino dessert baking, though, because it's supposed to be sweet and because Filipino desserts don't always have, like, oh, sorry, when it comes to Filipino cakes specifically, I very much loved it better than North American cakes, because North American cakes is very sugar sweet, whereas Asian cakes, it's more so light cream and fruit level sweet. It's not like overpoweringly sweet. It's like it's very subtle, but no, it's not subtle. It's very light and fluffy, and you don't feel sick to your stomach because it's not pure cane sugar. It's fruit level sweet, so it's there. It feels natural and it's good and light and it's delicious. Whereas most North American cakes, especially the cheaper ones, it's just sugar. You can practically feel the sugar crystals on your tongue, which I have never really been a big fan of ever since discovering there are other types of sweetness. So yeah, there's that. I might as well stop because I know ads are still going. So you guys probably couldn't hear me in the last minute or so. 16 seconds. Waiting, waiting, waiting. Duh. All right, welcome back from ads. You missed out probably on what I was ranting on for the past minute. I forget. I think what I was talking about was the difference between Asian cakes and not Asian cakes, Filipino cakes specifically, Filipino cakes and North American cakes, because North American cakes is very sugar sweet, whereas Filipino cakes it's very fruit sweet. Like it's like a sweetness from the actual fruit that it's made from. Anyway, you're trying to think they made the cake with graham crackers instead of cake layers. Yeah, 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 yeah. Like I find bakeless cakes, or no, not bakeless cakes, but like cakes with like different types of uh layers like that very interesting, because that means the rest of the cake isn't just your standard, okay, we threw some sugar and coloring and the crap and put in between layers, but like it's more deliberately designed. You know what I mean? I could be wrong and I'm just talking out of my ass. I'm very tired. Soft as the cream and condensed milk. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Those are good. Cook spam and get all crispy? Right. Wait, hold on. I mean, is I only know of one way to cook spam, and that is indeed to make it crispy. Personally, what I love doing is making it super thin, like bacon, like thin bacon, and crisping the hell out of that shit so it's nice and crispy on the outside. And you put that on top of bread with a fried egg, or you put it on rice with a fried egg. Yeah, yeah, that's good. Actually, what I love doing is making garlic rice. I mentioned this on other stream before, but like a Filipino breakfast is called silog. Silog being rice, protein, egg, rice, protein, and egg. With traditionally with garlic rice. Garlic rice being like the one of the key ingredients, because it's like it's not just rice fried with garlic. No, 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 no. It's much more complicated and deep than that, because I learned how to do it. And it turns out that really good garlic rice is actually white rice that is coated in a garlic infused oil, and then topped with said garlic used to infuse said oil. So it turns out what you do is you take a lot of garlic, and I mean like a lot of garlic, and you mince it up or mash it. I mean, you can mash it, but basically the standard cooking procedure. The smaller something is, the more intense I mean, the more surface area something has, the more likely it is to burn if you put it on high heat. So obviously, have due caution. You fry it up just until it's golden brown, so that the oil is completely infused with the garlic that you fried, and then you pull the garlic out, and then you put in some cooked rice and start mixing it in that oil so that everything gets a nice coating. After it's all coated, and if you mix that shit up, you pat it down against the frying pan like a pancake, so it's like super flat. And what you're achieving here is making the bottom of that pack of rice that you just created, that is infused with the garlic oil, to have a bit of a crust essentially, was is like a little bit crispy. And then once that's done, you mix up all again, and then you flatten out again and crisp it again. That way, after you have done that process multiple times, you've got several sections on the inside with every bite. A crispy side of rice with a soft, fluffy side of rice, but it all tastes like garlic. And then you spread the garlic that you used on top of that to really double down on the garlic flavor. So you've got texture, you got flavor, and I guess more texture because you added that extra crispiness to it on several parts of the rice. And then you put your different types of protein on there. That ranges between marinated pork, marinated beef, some fish, or depending on how you like that. There's even like salted dry fish, and even like the deluxe kind of orders that you get for Filipino breakfast, or the silog. You can get like multiple different types of protein, or a combination of the stuff that I mentioned earlier. And then you have the egg, which is usually served in three different ways. You've got your classic sunny side up or over easy, and then you've got actually no, that's two. And then the last one of my favorites, is lightly scrambled eggs with onions and tomatoes. So minced tomato with minced onion, um, and you're just adding that extra onion flavor to like add more of the flavor profile, and the tomato, because it's so watery, it keeps that scrambled egg moist, and of course adds that pop of flavor. Makes it also feel a little clean amidst all the grease that you've essentially added to your carbs. And then what's usually served with something called achara, which is like a pickled papaya. It helps really cut through the grease again. And then often served with like a slice of orange or something, again, to balance out the grease. You gotta have balances in your dishes, right? So I put that in excruciating detail because it is one of my favorite dishes. I will have it in the middle of the day. I'll have it at night. It doesn't matter. Okay, anyway, enough about that. Yep, exactly. That's what I said earlier. Yeah, it's just formed meat. That's all the McRib is. Yeah, that's just. I hate that word, but it's right. Pork ribbing. I love how this guy just kind of goes, like, makes it up as he goes along. He has a bit of he's got a bit of a what the fuck, what word am I saying? He's got a bit of a plan, obviously, but like he really is just kind of like making it up as he goes along. He's just got enough practice and food knowledge and cooking tech to apply it well enough where it's passable as a whatever the hell he's trying to do. That's kind of how I cook essentially, except far less experience, you know. And I wouldn't go this far. Like I wouldn't make my own bread because he's making the bun. I would just buy the bun, you know. I haven't been listening, he says. Probably. Max Payne. That should be handling using heads. Dough lube. I can see that this compilation is including when he does this kind of stuff. Like, and by that I mean like it's not an edited down. It is just basically a live stream that has been slightly edited. I don't know what I'm talking about. Who are you? What are we doing? I love how they recorded all of that. You didn't have to have that in the video. Oh man, I want a cleaver. I don't have a cleaver. I'd love a cleaver because like when you cut stuff, you can also use it as essentially you can hold words. Hold on, I can't listen and talk at the same time. That's too much shit going on. What I like about a cleaver is that after you cut it, you can use it as a paddle to manipulate what else is on your on the board. It's like you can cut it and you can slide everything else off with ease because of the wider surface area. And you can even use it to like scoop up the ingredients with one hand, and the other hand is the knife flat side to like lift from the bottom. It's kind of hard to say because my VTuber model doesn't have real hands, but like what I mean is that like with a cleaver you can cut the way he's doing here, and then you could put your hand parallel to the cutting board and then use the cleaver to scoop up from the bottom whatever ingredients you were cutting and hold it onto that knife, and then use that as like a scoop to put it into the pot, which is why you need bigger knives. You use bigger knives so that you can do that stuff. You use a small steak knife to cut, you're gonna have a bad time, and it's also not as safe. With a wider flat side of the knife, you can use the knuckles of your fingers as guides to cut, which is much more safe. And remember, it's always good to have sharp knives because sharp knives are safer than dull knives. The reason being, if the knife is sharp, it can easily grip and cut into whatever you're cutting, compared to a dull knife, which will slip and slide and potentially cut your fingers. Yeah. Grimm's got gifted a cleaver and it's comedically massive. Nice. Nice. I would love to see a picture or something. But yeah, I really love a cleaver of my own. I actually really want to get Zentreya from Vishojo, her custom made cleaver, or Onigiri's. I'd probably go with Zentreya because I watch her more. Um, but yeah, I just man, I think it's an expensive ass knife. The box has a card for some reason. That's weird. Oh, he said like, "What's your favorite piece of pork if you had to pick one?" I saw it right here. Look at this. There is a little bit of fat on it, but not enough to be like this stuff. But this one was like, that's all meat. It's a nice, good chunk. It's very square. It's got a good marbling. That's what I would call a really good piece of meat. Oh, you're just playing with it at this time. At this point, bacon. Yeah. Yeah. That's a little too much fat for me. The editor is such a smartass. That doesn't look like chili to me. Because it's McDonald's. Add sugar. I'll say it though, as much as I like the McRibs, it's not that good. It's like, I don't know. It could be much better. I'm sure if any other restaurant made the McRib, they'd do it better than McDonald's. That's for sure. The reason McDonald's has so much money is that you skimp out on some of the ingredients and whatnot, and just pump it out and do put the rest of the money in marketing. Then yeah, it's gonna sell a lot. But in terms of quality, no. Everyone knows that McDonald's is trash. It just so happens that sometimes you feel like eating trash. At least I do. Holy. Do I look like a cop to you? Farcical? Oh, that's what emulsify means. No, 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 no. Is this just the McRib? It's a lot. It's a big portion of the McRib video. I mean, of this video. Holy moly! This is so long. This goes. This is like the majority of the video. What the? See, like as much as I like binging with Babish videos, sometimes he does post these videos where it's like the whole damn process. It's not an edited down kind of thing. And I mean, like these videos are kind of good, but like it says the Simpsons Food Marathon. Well, you can't see the title, but it's up here. Simpsons Food Marathon. So I thought he was gonna make a bunch of Simpsons food, which he is, but it's like 25% of this video is just the ribs. Yeah, 20-30 minutes watch with Babish. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna skip kind of a bit of this because I'm not really interested in watching the whole goddamn process. We can already see what he's doing. He's just like pushing it through a mold to make it look like ribs. He's making his own um, bread by whatever. Yeah, just botch not binging. See, this is weird because I was going for a binging with Babish, but this is the whole goddamn thing. What the hell did he just do? What is that? That does not look worth the effort, honestly. I'm sure it tastes amazing, but it's like that's a lot of. That's a thick ass pickle. That looks like a cucumber. What the fuck? Is that a cucumber? No, those are pickles. They're just the really thick ones that he sliced himself. I don't know. I'd put more sauce on this. I love sauce. That seems a little dry for me. Or rather, like, I don't know. Put butter or cream cheese on that bread. The bread's looking lonely. Fancy pickles. Okay. For dainty ladies, not grandmas making you whole try. I feel that. Although I have a hot take, I'm not big on dill pickles. I used to love dill pickles, but it's like because of the sweet tooth that I have, I actually fell in love with bread and butter pickles. It's a lot more smooth. There's not very much tang. It's a little more savory, and I can eat more of those than I can with the dill pickles. Dill pickles, it just starts getting real sour in my mouth and just kind of stop tasting. Actually, that's the thing. I can see the benefit of. Oh, I actually leaned back in my chair. I think I shrunk a little bit. Hold on, let me get bigger for all of you. Um, the what do you call it? The right. The reason why I think you'd want to make your own McRib is the fact that you can make a big batch of the meat. Therefore, you can easily just make more of these things at whatever time, right? And because you already made a whole batch, that's a lot less work later on compared to just spending $20 at McDonald's. I love dill pickles. Personally, dislike bread and butter. Yeah, most people that ever hear my take on pickles usually hate the bread and butter ones, and that's fine. It's just preference. It's just like I don't know. Maybe I just burnt myself out on all the dill pickles that I ate before, and I just like the fact that I'm not dealing with like sour ass pickles. You know, maybe I just don't like sour as much as I used to as a kid. Now it's just I like it smooth and a little sweet. Of course, it depends on, and I'm talking about just eating the pickles, right? Because depending on what food you're putting the pickles on, dill's definitely way to go. But that said, there are some foods that I would rather have bread and butter pickles on. Like for example, like a cold cut sandwich. I'd rather put uh, bread and butter pickles with some alfalfa, maybe a bit of honey Dijon, some vegan mayo, something like that. That's what I personally do. But of course, it's all preference. Although I can hear him chewing from that distance. Moon waffles. Oh my, what? Oh, that's disgusting. Caramels, that's just sugar. That's just that's just caramelized sugar. That is brown the sugar. And then he put batter and what the fuck? Waffle batter, liquid smoke. I think the liquid smoke's what's killing me there. And that's besides the fact he's eating an entire stick of butter. Like I've used a lot of butter before, but that was in like big batches of mashed potatoes. And even then it was like the unsalted vegan versions. But look, what the hell? That's gross. Yeah, just like the show. Oh, use that entire stick. No, Babbish, no. Ugh, he just bit into that. Yeah, yeah, it's time to fix that. Caramel. Color reference, sure, sure. Wait, cornmeal. Is that the difference? I'm not sure what the difference is between waffle mix and pancake mix. And this is from someone who can't make pancakes very well and waffles even worse. So, are you supposed to put cornmeal in waffles? I don't actually know. I thought it was the same stuff. I thought um pancake mix and waffle mix are essentially the same, although and it's just like the methodology of which it's made. Although I do know that every waffle I've had has a crispier exterior than that of a pancake. So like I guess there's some level of difference. Oh, I don't actually know. So anyone here that actually knows how to make a pancake versus a waffle, I would love to know the different methodology. I could look it up, but I don't care enough. And sorry for actually I can see that ads are about to start. So you know we'll pause for a second. In fact, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna use the washroom while the ads play. So all of you behave, and I'll see you in about a minute and 30 seconds, depending on your length of the ad. So let me go to be right back. it looks like it came back relatively back on time. Alright, let's get back to it. You know, even though I kind of had breakfast, I kind of feel like trying to make waffles now. It's just me or this kind of loud. There we go. Hey, Panda. Yeah, it's Babish. It's the guy. It's the man. I was just talking about how I want to make waffles now, but I don't really know how to make waffles. Ooh, no, those are moon waffles. Midnight on a Tuesday. Damn. What's with the audio there? That sucked. Okay, is it just me or like several different cuts of these videos are just marginally louder? Like, what the hell? It's cliche, but he did inspire me to start cooking. Yeah. I mean, that's cooking shows in a nutshell, right? Especially since this guy is both funny, he's informative, and he's creative in that he's making different versions. One being the matched version of the show or media where it came from, and then making a proper quote unquote one using essentially the same ingredients. And that's a lot of milk and sugar. Okay, so I'm gonna pause on here to say, personally, I've had thick, I'm rather rich hot chocolates before, and as an adult, I've had them as well, like both as a child and as an adult. And I would say that like I'm so used, and it probably just because of health things, like being told that all this stuff is bad, which it is. It's bad for you. Um, but it's a nice treat once in a while. The I'm so used to having hot chocolate that is not that thick or like rich, where it's a little more. It's not watered down, but rather it's mostly skim milk or something like that with some added whatever the hell, like the drink mix. So I'm not used to having something so rich. So like for me to have that much different types of milk, this the condensed milk, the goat's milk, and like the heavy cream. Like heavy cream's already like whoa, it's blowing my mind. you know, it's still like okay, I can see why this would be delicious, but my god, I probably have like this like only once a year, maybe during Christmas when it's snowing outside. Also, hold on, someone's DMing me. Oh, that's fine. That's just they're exclamating the fact that I've run stuff for 4 hours and I'm streaming in the morning on Sunday. I actually started streaming today this early because one of my viewers, who lives on the other side of the world, can only really catch me on the weekends. Uh, so here I am being a EU friendly stream time, and they're not even in the chat. So yay. They can't say I didn't try. I guess it is like 10:30. Ooh, cocoa. Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't put coffee in here. Or maybe he'll do coffee in the next version, because from what I understand, coffee and very like minimal amounts of coffee, like just a smidgen, just the flavor, enhances the flavor of coffee because of its bitterness, so you can really contrast the flavor of the sweetness of chocolate. I learned that from Iron Chef and Gordon Ramsay. He did the thing. He added coffee. That's the I told you I knew what I was talking about. Actually, no, I didn't say that, but I'm telling you now. Okay, so this assembly, I never really had whipped cream. I was always banned from it as a kid, especially since it is just fat and sugar in fluffy form. Um, but recently at my workplace, they had hot chocolate day. Probably the most unhealthiest days of the year that I've ever had. Where my boss brought in various amounts of hot chocolates, and they bought 2 cans of this shit, of this whipped cream. And I was like, you know what? I never do this. I'm gonna do it for once in my life, and then probably never do it again. And yeah, I don't think I'll ever do it again because it looks fancy, it looks delicious, but it's like you're just adding fat to that drink, and it's not necessarily good. It's just, oh, it looks nice. But it just kind of, in my opinion, it just kind of gets in the way of the chocolate. If I'm trying to get to the drink, why am I covering the drink in a bunch of crap? And I'm not using a straw, right? This ain't Starbucks. You're not using a straw to get to the center anyway. And even then, I think it's. I have a whole rant on Starbucks. It's fucking dumb. Damn. This is just a picture. This is just a picture. Damn. Butter powder? I've never heard of that before. The full La Bombe segment is funny. So, okay, okay, okay. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, okay. YouTube. Simpsons Le Bombe. Is this it? Oh, hey, Arctic. We were cooking. Well, we weren't cooking, rather. We were watching, binging with Babish make a lot of food from The Simpsons. And after seeing a small segment of Le Bombe, I figured we'd watch the whole thing. the whole. Well, this is a segment that's like a minute and a half, so we'll see. Because I don't normally watch Simpsons. That would be impolite. I say we kill him. What the fuck? Sorry, I think my mic peaked for some reason. And poison. I'll still get some poison. Just for good measure. Oh jeez. Old Simpsons was good. I almost missed watching it. So is like the current Simpsons bad or something? Hey, what is this again? What is this mush? I don't remember what this is. What is this mush? I don't remember what it is. That's a lot of eggs. It certainly dropped in quality after a point. Haven't watched the newest ones. Okay. Oh, I see. He's making the dough, and it seems to be very egg based. The Dairy Queen girl. Oh no, wait. This is the custard part. Yeah, because he's gotta stuff that inside the eclair. So that's the custard stuff. That's why it's so eggy. Oh no, it's pastries. Never mind. What the hell is it making? Who are you? What are we doing? Uh, yeah, I don't remember. Here we go. Hey, whatever. What is? I totally forgot what the hell we were doing. Was he making the eclair? What is that? Oh, you were doing the hot chocolate, I think, right? Damn, that's huge. Just from those little things, it was rose exponentially. That's crazy. Ooh. Okay, so he is making the eclair. So this is the dough. Ooh, that's cool. Cooking is so cool. Cooking is edible science. You see, he basically made a paste and turned it into this. That's crazy. The chemical reactions and the application of heat. Food is interesting as hell, both as a science and the fact that it very much coincides with history, because it's history and geology. Because when not geology, geography, because a lot of the foods that you can see from different cultures or different parts of the world very much governed by what the hell's around it and what can be grown there, such as why Japan has so much soy and rice. They easily could produce that in Japan, whereas beef is a little harder to come by because they didn't really have a lot of cows there. Is this for the chocolate? Oh, it's custard. I'm barely paying attention. I'm like barely here. Beef was a bit of a luxury for me in Japan. If it got paid, usually it's celebrated with steak. It's also really expensive. Yeah, exactly. See, like depending on where you are in the world, some foods are just harder to get. That's because different parts of the world are they just produce different stuff, and therefore you can see that all their cultures' foods very much reflect, their geography, what you can see, what's available, and what kind of stuff they've done. So yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of regurgitating and repeating what I said earlier, but you know what I mean. Yes, that's a whole ass mess. Yeah, tempering eggs. It's something I haven't really done, but I love how that exists as a technique. Essentially, to, as it says, temper the eggs, i.e., heat up the eggs without cooking it. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. That inside. I say inside. I should have said filling. What the? What time is it? It's very easy to scrub temperate. Yeah, exactly. Like the method. I mean, what it is easy. Not easy. The concept is not difficult to grasp, but it's the execution. Because you do it too fast, then you're gonna get scrambled eggs. You do it too slow. Actually, I'm not sure what happens if you do too slow. You just probably have to do it a lot, a lot longer than you have to. Man, butter just makes everything that has some sort of creamy consistently better, doesn't it? Who knew? Fat. Oh, that's the pastry cream. That's why he's boiling the milk with the vanilla pod and blah blah. So I wonder, does the vanilla flavor come? I guess it comes from the pod, not not what you scrape from the inside. I would have thought you just like open that bitch up and then started boiling it, but I saw he only boiled the pod itself. So I guess that's where the flavor comes from, and the inside's probably just bitter or something. I don't know. Hmm. Look at that dark chocolate. I never understood this concept here. The indirect melting, right? So like you're not applying the heat to the chocolate itself. You're applying it to water, which the steam is gonna heat up the bowl in order to warm up. Which is like, why not just heat up the chocolate itself? Like why does there have to be a middleman? Is that just so it's at a lower temperature? But at the same time, it's like, well, then just do it at a lower temperature. Like I'm always like trying to understand, not always, but like when I think about this, I'm like, how does that work, right? Like by having the middleman, like making it an indirect application. Why do that? What does that do? And the only logical way I'm thinking of this is like you don't risk burning it because the heat is not direct, and thus you're doing is creating a environment where it starts to melt as if he was putting it in a hot room while not risking it burning because again the heat is not directly upon it. Maybe that's my only logical way of thinking. I'm not sure. I cannot or care to verify. I think it's interesting, but it's like if I just wanted to melt the chocolate, I just pop it in the microwave. Even though like this seems like the better way to do it because obviously the results slower, more evenly. Oh, okay, yeah, I guess because like I said, it's like creating an environment where it's hot rather than applying it directly, which is like reminds me of how if anyone here has had pad thai or chow fan noodles, so like essentially rice noodles in both instances. Putting that in the microwave, it is not gonna be evenly warmed up. It's gonna be like burning on the outside, cold as hell on the inside. Which I at that point I would just rather just put the whole damn thing in a frying pan and refry it myself. Heating things in the microwave ain't great. It's very uneven. Whereas here it's like I said, a indirect heat application to create an environment which you can melt. Probably better, but it's like, am I right? I don't know, but it seems like it's a good thing. I mean, like, I give a fuck enough to inquire, but not enough to verify. Lower the power on the microwave heater for long. I guess so. I just never touched the power setting on the microwave. Probably A, laziness, or B, I probably forget to turn it back on, to put it back on high. I normally just nuke my food if it's like if I'm going for the microwave, it's for the strict intention of nuking the shit out of it. If I want it to be like cooking low and slow, I'd use a different application. But yes, by cooking it low and slow in the microwave, you'd achieve similar results. Also, I noticed that his glove on his left hand, that's him. He's got his own brand of cooking accessories. Yeah, most microwaves are actually pretty damn versatile, but everyone just hits the quick start button because no one knows any better. Yeah, basically, because like you said, obviously there are ways to manipulate the heat on the, not heat, radiation, literal microwave radiation. That's where it comes from, what I believe. But yeah, definitely you can change the way you approach it to achieve said results. But it's like it's so because the microwave is there for convenience, you hit the nuke button and call it a day, right? That's why microwave pizza is so ass because it's you're just heating up bread in the microwave. The real good way you do is that you put it back in an oven or an air fryer, which is essentially a mini turbo oven, which is why that's always going to give you the best results. I tried doing cold pizza in a pan, but you really have to put that slow so it doesn't burn the bottom. But it's like I'd rather do it in air fryer because it gets everything um, roughly heat distributed instead of just the bottom. Microwave could do all sorts of fancy shit. It even has a grill heating coils at the top, but don't know how to use. Yeah, and I'm sure that comes with like different models of microwaves with all those bells and whistles, right? Chantilly cream. But Babish, you forgot the poison. Oh Lord. La bombe. He says La Bomba, but I don't think you're supposed to pronounce the B at the end. I could be wrong. It's been a while since I've spoken French, but La Bomba. It sounds more exotic, I guess. I don't know. Since microwaves also heat food by agitating water molecules or something, some ingredients will heat up faster, and that's when the lower and slower heating helps the temperature. Yes, you are exactly correct. But yeah, the poison, banana extract, or whatever the fuck you put in there. I guess ads are starting soon. I should probably like do a be right back again. And this way I can like check my messages. Yeah. Well, the ads didn't say it's starting yet, so I'll just keep going. Oh gosh, skin is POW fish. Actually, no, I never heard of this one before. Decidedly so, huh? Nah, because democracy never sleeps. Oh, we got an ad, so I'm gonna do the be right back thing again. Welcome back from ads. I took a look at Discord, so I might have been a couple seconds late on that, but here we are. My punishment. Steamed hams. Babish, get your ass a rice cooker. Although I guess a pressure cooker works too, but it's like, just get a rice cooker. What are you doing? Green jade rice? Where the hell do you get that? That looks like a flag. That looks like a flag. Right there. Is that someone's flag? I don't know what it is, but it looks nice. This sounds like a really good recipe. Coconut milk with a bunch of seafood and rice. Yeah, it definitely sounds Thai as well, especially the coconut milk. I might actually try to make this at home. This sounds good. And I happen to have a liter of coconut milk in my pantry. Mm. Okay, so to get this straight, oh, this sucks. I don't think I have any more shellfish because I've been keep whenever I make shrimp, I would keep the shells so I can do this exact thing, roast the shells and make it a seafood. But because of who also lives in my house, they were thrown out, so I don't have them anymore, unfortunately. And I've been buying a lot of shrimp without the shell because it's just easier to cook. But it's like I would really like to be able to do this stuff, but a lot of my ingredients get thrown out. Curry paste. Okay. Bamboo shoots. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Man, I like fish sauce, especially in dishes like this. But damn, that shit is salty. Really, monkfish? Actually, I had monkfish. I'm not a big fan. Or is it rockfish? I forget. I think it's rockfish. I managed to get like I forget how much it is, but it was like a sizable portion, which would normally cost you like $10 for a slab of salmon. The same amount, but it's rockfish. Super cheap. I got it for like $3. But the thing is, rockfish does not taste good, which is why it probably super cheap. I feel like if I was going to make this, I'd have to go to my Asian market sometimes. Yeah, exactly. Because not a lot of like depending on your local grocer, you won't. This sometimes won't have some of the Oriental ingredients like coconut milk or some of the greens in here. Crayon sandwich. Why does it make a crayon sandwich? What the fuck? What the fuck? What is he doing? Oh, you guys couldn't see it. I was in the way, but he just lined up um the sandwich with you'll see it soon. There it is. You can kind of see. He just lined it with cheese. All the same cheese but different colors. Yeah, it'd mostly be the greens and other kinds of exactly. Yeah, you don't really find a lot of those types of Oriental ingredients in most North American grocers. Although some places will have like uh, flavors from other countries in one section, but it's usually more often than not very extensive. And that's why I usually go to a grocer specifically. I can't say much, or else I'll dox myself. But sometimes there are grocers out there that who have a decent amount of other culture ingredients that aren't North American, like a fair bit of selection. What I'm wondering is why is he making this grilled cheese sandwich? What does it have to do with Simpsons? I didn't see the clip. Wow, that is. I'm gonna say because I don't think it's offensive. Um, that's a gay looking gay looking grilled cheese, and it's a good thing. I find this actually fairly amusing. I'd eat that, and it's just cheese. It's the same cheese. It's just food coloring, but like, this is really pretty. That is a really pretty shade of those colors. I like that. I actually do appreciate the colors that he chose. He ordered them in a way that makes sense to me. You're going from the red to green to blue, and it's like, yeah, pride grilled cheese, grilled cheese, yeah, grilled cheese, yeah. A prideful grilled cheese. That looks delicious. And normally I don't say that about like multicolored food because food normally doesn't have that kind of colors. But damn, this looks scrumptious. I'd eat that. I'd eat that for lunch, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and dip it in marinara sauce. Well, maybe not marinara sauce because the colors would look weird with the brighter ass red. Oh, I think I saw the deep fried corn dogs. I don't think it turned out that well, but it's hot dog for it, so it's good for you. I might skim this one because yeah, I think I've seen this one already. Yeah, because it's the meringue buns that was weird because like meringue is just it's really hard to shape, and deep fried cookie dough. Yeah, I I don't know, man. That's yeah, because it's yeah. Look at that. Okay, this is good enough. Yeah, because it's just cookie dough. Albuquerque. This is American. We deep fry it. Yeah, I was see as it was leaving my face, I was also thinking, well, don't North Americans fry every goddamn thing, including ice cream? But like to my point, it's just it seems I was gonna say excessive, but I've literally had deep fried Oreos, and it's like I think when I say excessive, I specifically mean it's way worse than other things that I can think of having deep fried. And okay, Mars bars I think might be alongside cookie dough because that is mostly sugar, right? Whereas like Oreo cookies, it's still half of it is like a baked cookie, like actual cookie, and then not just like the chewy dough. Maybe I'm completely wrong. I'm talking out of my ass. I don't know. Damn. Not everything should be deep fried. Viking Pichu, thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate that. Hello, hello. And good morning to you, although depending on your time zone, it might already be noon. Oh, thank you for the follow. Really appreciate that. I hope you guys heard the alert of that follow because I can't really trust my programs. I'm not sure if that could be heard. What if something innocuous actually tastes better fried and we never try? I mean, yeah, food experimentation, right? It's just you gotta wonder sometimes, is it really worth deep frying a thing? Right? Like even if it comes out delicious and it practically kills you, I don't know if it's worth. You heard it? Okay, well, thank you, Panda. I appreciate that. Oh, and I will say that the deep fried Oreo tasted good, but I would definitely, under any other circumstance, go out of my way to get some. It is. It was too much for me. It was good, but it's like, ooh, this is the amount of sugar and fat that that I'll have for the rest of the year. Mostly fat because like that was ugh. It was a time. Wasn't there a Trent going on where people were deep frying pickles stuff with frying deep frying pickles stuffed with cheese. What in the ever loving fuck? And the thing is, I'm surprised for different reasons because I'm thinking, well, how do you stuff the pickles? Are you like coring them like a pineapple where you just like cut out the inside and stuffing that with cheese? Or are you like taking slices of pickle, sandwiching in the cheese and breading it and then deep frying it? There's like different methods of deep frying because obviously deep frying you could just throw that in the well no, yeah. Because sometimes to deep fry you just toss the thing in oil and hence deep fry it. But then of course there's also the other methodology of like battering it first, and the batter is very important because the batter, how that tastes, will also dictate the taste of the final product, and that's also just adding more carbs, and like if you don't flavor the batter well enough, it's not gonna mix well with the rest of the ingredients, blah 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 blah. So now I'm wondering, what the fuck are they doing to these pickles to stuff them with cheese and deep frying them? That I've never heard before, and I kind of want to look it up now. We're looking it up. Deep fried cheese pickle Damascus, what the shit? All right. Deep fried cheese stuffed pickles. I didn't even spell pickles wrong. That was pickles right. Stuffed fried pickles. Okay, so I was right. They are opening up the pickles and then adding cheese and then breading it. I mean, I can see that as good. I already love pickle spear, like deep fried pickles. I already enjoy that. So breading it, adding carbs and fat, yeah, of course, it's gonna be good. And because pickles are a vegetable, or are they a fruit? Because they were originally a cucumber, which was pickled, and therefore no, cucumbers are fruit. No, I mean, cucumbers are vegetables, right? Because there's seeds on the inside. We're looking this up. We're looking this up right now. Are cucumbers fruits? I think they would be. Yes, botanically speaking, cucumbers are fruits. However, for culinary purposes, they're considered vegetables. Exactly, because the inside of the cucumber is in fact where it houses the seeds. So yeah, that makes sense. Though they are botanically classified as fruit because yeah, the way it's prepared, it's a vegetable, especially since it's crispy. So now that's being said, are pickles? I guess it's the same thing, right? Because it's made from cucumber. Technically fruit, but made from cucumbers which are commonly seen in its vegetables. However, they have a seed, the inside. It's gonna do blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so I'm right. Hey, okay. Deep fried pickles, Damascus. Honestly, that sounds a bit cursed, but it does definitely sound cursed. But like, deep fried pickles, I love. Do you batter that shit and add cheese? Also, keep in mind that like charcuterie boards, besides the cured meat, obviously, they do sometimes have nuts, cheese, and pickles, and that's often eaten together. So I'm already imagining this, like eating a charcuterie board with set ingredients, having pickles and cheese not eaten at the same time, but like in succession. So essentially at the same time, because you're eating them like just like that. Having that as warm and battered, I can see happening. I obviously haven't tried, but you may kick ass charcuterie boards? Nice. So now, as someone who has made charcuterie boards and labeled their own charcuterie boards as kick ass, what do you add to your charcuterie boards? I'm just curious. The pickles and sweet things the bar meant to cut through the richness of the meats. Yes, exactly. Like I said before with the whole McRib section of this video, the pickles and the onions really do like have balance. Like, and when I was talking about the Filipino breakfast, the silog, um, we would have achara, which is the pickled papaya, and tomatoes and onions with vinegar. Actually, yeah, I forgot to say one of the common condiments to tapsilog or tosilog is spiced, sweetened. Actually, it's not always sweetened. Sometimes it's just plain ass vinegar, but like it's vinegar, so it helps cut through the grease that is covering the rice and the meat itself. So, yeah, exactly right. You gotta have balance in your dishes. Beef spaghetti. Meat paste. Digging with a spoon. If you wanted to cure that beef, just cast Esuna. Those who haven't played Final Fantasy 14 won't get that joke. Okay, I've watched so much ordinary sausage videos, and by ordinary sausage videos, I literally mean there's a channel called Ordinary Sausage. It's some guy who I think, if I were to guess, has his own restaurant, not restaurant, but like he makes his own sausage. I don't know if it's like a job or a side thing, but he makes his own sausage, and he makes these crazy sausages. It's these sausages made by ingredients from the YouTube comments or suggestions or whatever it is. And there's some crazy ones out there, and I mean like stupid crazy. He's made water sausage, which is literally just casing filled with water. Obviously, did not go well. But he's also made some other things like he's turned actual hot dogs. Like he's turned McDonald's meals into sausage by shoving it through his grinder and stuffing it. And then he's started perfecting it, where it's like instead of just being dumb about it, he'll actually try to make a good version, which is nice. So I think binging with Babish, but a lot more unhinged, and it's just turning things into sausages. He'll take ordinary things and turn it into sausages, including things like frozen dinners, takeout foods, cookies, desserts. I think he's made a sausage with like jelly beans. Obviously, those never turn out well because you're just burning the sugar, and it's kind of gross thinking about like putting the my train of thought left the station. Uh, yeah, sugar in a sausage casing, you know. But here we are. That's just what I think of it when I see sausage casing now. It's just ordinary sausage. If you don't understand, oh no, I heard him say something else. If you don't know, natural casing, quote unquote natural casing for sausage, is animal intestines. Obviously, very much cleaned and processed, but that's kind of what it is. And then of course there's the synthetic stuff, which is man-made. He messaged, not he mentioned ordinary sausage. Actually, that's amazing. I wasn't expecting him to mention the guy who I was literally talking about. All right, Panda. Let's see. 2 to 3 kinds of cured meats, usually speck and soprestata, cornichon pickles, marinated olives, manchego cheese, chèvre goat cheese, fig jam, baguette and crackers, and Marcona almonds. Damn, that is quite the assortment. Personally, I'd love more cheeses and more meats, but that's just me. That sounds like a kick-ass charcuterie board. Looks like the ads are going to start playing in about 2 minutes. So in about 2 minutes, we're going to run the BR back screen again. Ooh, look at that. Those look like good sausage links. Nice bacon hot dogs. Yeah, sure. Jalapenos. Man, I love jalapenos. I might have to try that. Homemade jalapeno relish. Make sure you don't add it in the seed so it's not spicy, and then adding a quick pickle mixture to it. Okay, so you guys don't know this, but there is a series called Kamen Rider Gaim, which is essentially Power Rangers but a better story and better characters, and it's not about friendship and teamwork. And it's usually only a handful of characters, but there's this one character because Gaim is about essentially the parallels of the feudal Japan era and the Warring Kingdoms and fruits. So one of them, his name is Baron. At least that's his writer name, Kamen Rider Baron, and he eventually gets a power up that is modeled after a mango, and the mango is the weapon materializes as a mace, and it looks like a cut up mango. And when he activates his attacks, it's like mango. So when I'm looking at this, I'm thinking of the Iron Suit. Anyway, I'm gonna hit the be right back screen for the ads. So I'll see you guys in a minute and a half. And welcome back from ads. Panda, you still there? Because I would love to show that picture of the charcuterie that you just showed. That is an extensive charcuterie board. If anything, that is that charcuterie board ain't big enough in terms of space. Because like, damn, are those gherkins? No, what are they again? Smorgasbord? Yeah. All right. Look at that. Look at that. Look at this look at this majesty. Look at that stuff. That's great. These little mini. What are these? Are these little dill pickles or something? Like the baby dills. That looks like prosciutto, or is that this prosciutto? I forget. No, you had a whole list here. Cornicon pickles. That's what these are, because they look like mini dill pickles, like baby dill pickles that I would find at the grocery. Yeah, baguettes, crackers, and like the Pickled olives. Ugh. Ugh. That looks good. That looks really good. Very nice. Okay, back to the mangoes. Yeah, it's also kind of neat onion. I am not a big fan of cilantro. Speck is specifically smoked prosciutto. Oh, okay. Mesquite onions. I don't think I've ever had mesquite onions before. Mmm. That looks good. America. Yep, yep. The eyebrow movement. Wasabi wings. Okay. Okay, now the question is it wasabi as in bastardized American horseradish wasabi, or is it like wasabi wasabi? I'm gonna assume it's the former. And by bastardized, I just mean like it's fake. It's the fake stuff. It's horseradish. Yeah, yeah, for stock. Not really a lot of stuff on those, but you might as well use it for your stock. Oh yeah, this is also kind of loud, isn't it? There we go. Instant mashed potatoes. Interesting. Fuck it, let's try it mode. I am not surprised in the least that he's adding butter to this because it seems like a lot of North American cooking is just a lot of butter, which to that point is pretty good. What was it doing? Right. Yeah, it's a North American wasabi. Butter makes you the chef you ain't. It makes you a lazy chef. No, I'm kidding. It's a nice enhancer, but it's like, but you can't add butter to everything and expect it to be good. It's not always gonna work with with all the dishes, right? But a majority of North American cooking, I would find butter helps a lot. That's a lot of green. There's so much green here. You would have thought this is an episode of Iron Chef. Well, not that Iron Chef is inherently green, but I mean like the amount of variety of a specific type of ingredient, i.e., peppers in this case. But he put both takes in there. That is actually a nice looking paste. I mean, it's got um, all those visual textures in there, making it look, and it's got a nice shade of green too. But yeah, the little contrasting bits of seed and char. He's right. That's a nice looking paste. You seriously use some micro cable? I would love to be able to do more deep frying at home, but like deep frying is such a process because you have to have a lot of oil in there, so there's always going to be a lot of excess oil. That's a lot of cleanup. That's a pain in the ass. And then of course there's the smell. Unless you have really good ventilation, which Norse a lot of houses do not, because it's just like the overhead vent, and that's not really much else you can do. You have to like open up every goddamn window. Um, and then like all this work to do for deep frying, and then you got to make sure that your stove is hot enough, and the fact that you have an appropriate vessel for to carry said oil, and then of course there's like the process of doing all the deep frying. Ugh, it's a lot of work, which is why air fryers are so awesome. You can kind of have the middle ground. It's a lot more cleaner too. Man, now I want chicken wings. Ooh, that is a really good. That is a good coating of chicken. It's not dripping. You can see that's in every nook and cranny. That's a good piece of chicken. Oh gosh. Oh man, I want really good sauced wings. Like, look at it, and I love the presentation too. Yeah, they don't look that appetizing, but I can already tell with those kind of flavors mixed in, buffalo butter and wasabi. Oh, that's a good wing. Root beer noodles? What the? Yeah, I've seen this one too. This one's. I don't think it turned out that well. I don't remember it turning out that well. Yeah, I definitely saw this one. I forget. I think this still didn't turn out that well. I imagine it doesn't really taste that good though. Nice. It's just awful. Finishes the steak. I don't even know what that is. Klav kalash? I don't know what that is. Oh, you can. Ugh. Can I drink that, buddy? That's. Ugh. No. Ugh. What the fuck? Okay, this I can understand. Adding it to clamato, I can see it as a bitter additive, but you know, Worcestershire. I've never had hot franks. Kav kalash. Drac is the Infernal. Thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate that. Yeah, we're this. Can you believe this one video is an hour and 30 minutes? Actually, just a little bit over that. A good portion of this was just the botched with Babish, where he made. I forget what it was. It was, hold on. Okay, so we're at 124. He was making. What the hell was he making here? Oh, he was making the McRib, and it was just it was all the steps. It was very long. Um, but yeah, this is a long ass video. He's just making stuff from the Simpsons. How are we? We are very tired, and I'm considering swapping over from this to playing Helldivers 2. I may have increased my DM capabilities once again by getting the Book of Many Things and the Deck of Many Things. Wow. Oh boy, that sounds like a journey. And the thing is, like, I was always curious about getting stuff like that too. But it's like, I think some of the not effects, but some of the things that you gotta do in the Deck of Many Things range from very funny to downright lethal. And as a DM who is very generous and nice to my players, who, like, they are not at risk of dying at all at any point, sometimes some of those effects kind of scare me. Not scaring me as in like, oh, that's spooky, but more like, I'm not sure if I'd want to do that to my players, just because I don't want to say coddled, but I've basically not put the threat of death too closely. No Deck of Many More. Oh, so there's more. There's another set. I didn't even realize. That's interesting. Gato, hello. Welcome to the stream. Good morning to you, or I guess in this case, almost noontime, depending on your time zone. Oh, an additional 44. That's a lot. Not even 10 a.m.? Okay, you guys are 2 hours behind me then. You guys are probably PST. I guess, hold on, what time is it? So it's almost noon for me. I've slept for about 4 hours because of DST. And, hold on. Oh, but 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I guess. Oh gosh, I actually should get lunch soon. I don't know if I want to cook or do I want to order in, because I was thinking about getting ribs, but then I wanted wings, and now I'm not even sure anymore. I don't know. The Book of Many Things explains how to build special decks that are either just for roleplay scenarios, really. Oh, okay, that's actually great. So the Book of Many Things and Deck of Many Things and more things, quite the bundle. I'd imagine any smart retail place would like bundle that shit together. I wonder if it's see, like, I could just order food here online while keeping stream going, just to have a longer stream, or I can just cut stream short, get food, probably cook it, and then come back and not stream and just like play Helldivers 2, or I stream that. I don't know. It's kind of a free day today. It also allows you to use the deck to totally randomize generally. Oh, yeah. That makes sense. That's good. That's good that there's a bit of a guide to it. Wait, so why does it cook firm and stick? Okay, so he used... Actually, what did he use? I literally just forgot what he did. Oh, it's egg whites. I see. As someone who pulled the absolute best card and got 3 with 3 wishes, that's crazy. Maybe I should insert the Deck of Many Things into my own game. He's making Simpsons Klav Kalash. Yeah, it's some Simpsons episode. Pork tenderloin. Never thought of doing that, and it's because I guess I don't have a lot of experience cooking with meat. Or not cooking with meat, but cooking meat outside the few ways that I know how. Specifically with boiling and whatnot, because like he rinsed the meats and he says that the excess proteins can cause issues later. I did not know that. Is this the episode where Marge and the kids are exposed to ethnic food? No. This. I don't remember. No, it's the episode where Homer, I don't know, he just finds this guy and he can't get pizza, so he's trying out this, kalash, whatever it is, essentially grilled meatball. So on a stick, patting your meats dry allows the marinade to soak in more effectively, especially when stabbed. Oh yeah. Whenever I marinate something, I like to dry it off, or actually no, that's not right. Sometimes I do it. Want to know one of the super good cards that comes with it? Yeah, sure. Yeah, lay it on me. It's actually called Dragon. Oh, interesting. What did he just say? That's so stupid. We're going to ads. We're gonna pause there and go to ads. Oh damn! Incorporating a thumb to the rubbing motion, helping across the finish line. Okay, ads are starting soon, but I don't know when, so I'm gonna keep going until then. Okay, we're stopping for the ads. Okay, so welcome back from the ads. I'll be honest. I leaned back in my chair and I closed my eyes for like 5 seconds. I fell asleep for like 5 seconds. Like, damn, I didn't realize how tired I was. I just conked out for 5 seconds. I woke back up and was like, huh, ads are all about to end. Huh. So I think I'm gonna take a nap later. Anyway, back to the meat. Okay, you need to set up for stream. Have a good. We doing some Mika. Oh, Mika de Arting. Okay, well, I hope you have a good stream, Gato. Likely, I'm gonna stop around here because I didn't realize I'm almost at 3 hours for doing this. So I've effectively doubled the amount of time that this video alone has provided us with. Might just read out to you or something. So I'll see you in a bit, Gato. I didn't realize it's Miko Day. Lanya, hello. Good afternoon, and thank you for stopping by. We are just reacting to Binging with Babish videos featuring food that is recreated from various Simpsons episodes. This current dish is the kalv kalash or something like that. Basically, a grilled meatball from Middle Eastern culture, I think, from what he said. And yeah, it's looking good. Just give me a second here while I prepare a little something. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Anyway. Ah, crap. I think I closed my stream chat. No. Oh god. Okay, 1 second, guys. Time for scuff. Okay, we're not playing D&D. I'm just trying to find the ah, damn it. Where is it? No, where is it? I accidentally closed a browser source on my OBS. So that's lovely. I God damn it, how do I put that back on? How do I do this? Is it browser source? And then add existing. It's not chat box, is it? Twitch alert, stream stickers, chat widget, chat box. No, I don't. You guys already are there, so it's not this one. Bollocks. How do I do this? Why'd I accidentally close that window? Alert box, Muse, Fugi, Twitch alerts, stream stickers, mix it up, chat box, chat widget. Poopy. All right, let me do this again manually. You guys hold on. You hold on. I gotta fix some Twitch stuff. Actually, you know what? You guys can keep watching. I'm going to fix this on my end. You're a goober, Argo. Meat and sticks, the bigger the better. Wait, why'd I do that? It's not supposed to be a source. How the hell do I do this again? Audio mixer. Ah, crap. Wow, that was the last one, huh? Very cool, very cool. Now I'm just trying to fix my Twitch, but I can't remember how to. You know, maybe I'll do this after stream. In fact, we're about 2.5 past 2.5 hours. So you know what? I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna raid out the Gato. So let's do that right meow, right meow. Let's go to just chatting. Hello, hello. Let's see here. To raid out. How do I do this again? Am I a streamer? Am I doing right? Right. There is a command here that I gotta click. Raid channel. So, for those who are still here, I will say this. It has been a sleepy stream for me, and I normally don't stream this early, but I see all of you. Well, I assume all of you. This is just trusting my program here, but I appreciate all of you for joining today's stream. This was just a chill kind of morning thing. I'm probably gonna take a nap and then have lunch, but thank you for all for showing up for today's stream. I appreciate you. I see you. I perceive you. And you could have chosen anyone. You could have chosen any stream out there, but you chose to have me in one of your tabs, and I appreciate that. So thank you for hanging out with me, and I'll see you next time. Maybe tonight. Maybe I'll do a double stream. Maybe I'll stream some gameplay tonight with some people. I don't know. No, not Raid Shadow Lunches. Gato Chemist. So we are going to raid out to our dear friend Gato, and all of you are going to share some love, and yeah, I'll see you guys in a bit. You guys take care now, and remember, stay frosty. 3, 2, 1, time to raid. See you guys in a bit or later. I don't know. Bye bye.